Hey, Wichita, we are back with Coffee Break. I am your host, Officer Chad Ditch. How y'all doing today?
Good, Chad. Thanks for having us.
Yeah, you're welcome.
Yeah, thanks for having us.
Well, I'm your co-host. My bad. I messed that one up.
All three of us today.
Yeah, apparently.
So we're here also today with
Officer Paul Cruz.
And Officer Trevor Macy.
Wait, there we go.
Cool.
So go ahead.
Oh, I was going to say everybody have a good weekend. Is that what you were going to say? Gosh, dang, we're on.
Yes, I like that. Yeah.
Wow.
So,
great.
Bro, I had a great weekend.
It was an amazing weekend.
Yeah.
Right?
Like my daughter played 7 softball games, and we had 3 on Saturday and 2 on Sunday. So
is that why you're looking a little red?
Darker too. Yeah.
No.
Yeah, it was fun.
I went to a wedding, and it was outdoors, and it was 102 degrees.
Oh man,
it was a beautiful wedding though. Beautiful wedding, but really hot.
You have to say that.
Really hot.
What else are you gonna say? What else are you gonna say?
Hearing that wedding really wasn't that good.
Beautiful couple. Great.
Yeah,
glad for the invite. I'm thankful the reception was indoors afterwards.
Was it in Kansas?
No, it was in Oklahoma.
Oh, that's even worse.
Was it hotter down there?
Yeah. Oh. Well, it felt hotter.
Dude, it was
but then I got back here and it was just as hot. Like,
yeah, it was.
Yeah, somebody set the temperature on rainforest outside. It
was
like extreme.
Well, at least in the office today, it's like super humid.
Yeah.
Yeah. You know, it's interesting. We had a great weekend too. Thanks to Kansas International Dragway.
Oh, the Beat the Heat event.
Beat the Heat event.
Bro.
And also, obviously, a big shout out to Hamilton Ford Racing for making this possible. Again, the whole purpose of the drag racing was to take it to the track. And we want the community to bring these illegal races to the track. This is where we're supposed to do it. That was the purpose of this this program or this event that we're doing. This is our 2nd annual. Mm-hmm. Had a great turnout.
Dude, a lot of people showed up.
A lot of people showed up. Really had an awesome time. And, you know, one of the things, we don't get to interact with our racing community.
Yeah.
And I think this just opens it up to be able to get to know them, let them get to know us, who we are. Lots of kids, gave out a lot of prizes. A lot of stickers and so forth. So really, it was a great interaction, and I always look forward to this event.
So I was out there as well, and they had me do a little promo with them with the speakers and everything out to the racers and everything that was there. And the guy asked me, he was like, "Hey, as an officer, do you ever get nervous when you're off duty and a cop gets behind you?" And I was like, "Every time."
Yeah, I still like.
And you know what? We were talking. Okay, so we were. I don't know who I was talking to about this, but I don't know if it was you. But we were saying how, and I guess this just give me a moment to just one of my pet peeves is parents. If your kids are acting out, if they're being bad, whatever, don't use us as the threat to behave of a consequence. If they don't
there's a cop right there, you're going to go to jail.
Yeah, don't say that. Then I feel like
bugs me.
That conditions, you know, people to or kids to be afraid of us or to be worried about us and things like that. So just a side note, I don't think there's ever an officer that's going to be okay with that comment.
Yeah,
we don't like it. We prefer to just have a positive interaction. Prefer to, you know, let me have that positive interaction with your kid. Give them a sticker or something like that. Yeah. Maybe an opportunity to have a conversation about responsibility and all this stuff. Change it up a little bit. Don't just say, hey, he's going to take you to jail because you're being bad. You know, you condition your kid since you're a little kid. And so just a little side note.
So I was at Riverfest working security there, right? So I'm in uniform and everything. Yeah. And a woman called me over and she had 3 very small children. And she introduced me to them and she pointed to me and she was talking to them and she's like, "This is who you need to go to if you're in trouble and you need help. You look for one of these people in this uniform." And I thought that was like the perfect example of how to actually handle those interactions. Teach your kids that we're here to help. We're not here to take you to jail. We're not here to punish people. We're here to help people. So that was a good moment.
It's a good way to just, I guess what I'm trying to say is it's always best to just get to know us. If we're going to facilitate that conversation, might as well just get to know us, who we are, have a quick conversation. Always looking forward to it. Now, if I'm en route to a call or if I'm headed out, and you know, or
don't flag me down at Harry and Rock and be like, hey, like,
probably not going to be. But this is why we do these events, so we can actually have those opportunities. Same thing at Riverfest. Yeah. But what a great turnout! It was a lot of fun.
Yeah.
Did you guys race?
Yeah,
we did. Yeah.
I'm so mad I didn't get to race.
Man, I raced at least 7, and then I didn't know in the racing world because I don't do that. Is that if you jump the gun, you automatically lose. I thought you
like a
made,
fault.
So that's why that's the one you want. I was the one against the Tesla. So you jumped the gun.
Yeah.
And then the one that
Tesla racing.
Yeah,
that's awesome.
And he's still. I mean,
I'm gonna get my Hyundai out there next
he
year.
lost. The Tesla lost and he won. But
yeah, he dusted me down the track.
He really
but
he jumped the gun.
He automatically lost. So
Same thing with the first. I think that was the first race I had. The car was just completely a drag car, 100%. I talked to the guy afterwards, had 1,100 horsepower or something like that.
Yeah, it was an easy 9-second car.
Wow. Yeah, it was. And so he just completely burned me. And, but I think he also red light. So by default, I guess that's a win too,
right?
Did you guys both drive the Mustang, or
he did? Paul
you did?
I drove the Mustang. Actually, we got a video. So if you want to play that really quick, we'll show. One of the races.
And this
is the third or fourth?
Yeah, this is the third.
The third
race. So, and pay close attention. Listen to one of the kids' responses to the race. And
stuff. It's pretty funny.
We finally won one.
Oh, was that your kid? Was that your kid?
That was my kid.
Oh,
she was like,
awesome.
we finally won one. She was all passionate. She also let me know that we didn't win that much. She goes, Dad, how come you didn't win that much? And I was like, well, just.
Well, the year before we didn't win any.
No, we didn't win any.
So
that's awesome.
Yeah,
it was funny.
Dude, it was a great experience, man, and it was cool because you had people of all ages, all demographics coming up, talking to you.
Yeah.
Took several pictures with people. Yeah. I got to race one of a teenage kid that had one of the drag cars.
Yep, he was the only one that was there that year, this weekend, and I got to race. He wanted to race you, and he had a really, really cool looking drag car.
Yeah.
So we'll share that on our social media so you can get to watch it. But man, he burned you bad.
Man, he just straight disrespected me.
It
was, and they came up before and was like, "Hey, make sure because the way his car, that's one of the longer cars.
Yeah.
Make sure you don't jump too far ahead or something like that because they want to make sure we didn't collide or something." Anyway, there wasn't a chance that I had.
Yeah.
I think I was.
Is that one of the ones with like the parachute in the back and everything too?
Yeah,
but it was a smaller version of that for kids.
Okay.
So it was awesome. It was awesome to see that. That was really cool. But yeah, you got burned,
dude. I think I was still thinking about pushing the gas pedal down, and he finished.
He was
wow.
And then afterwards, he was like, "Can we take a picture?" And I'm like, "Yeah." So I had him put the number 1 up, me put the number 2 up, looking all sad because he just dusted. And my family was there,
Yeah, you
but
got to see it. Well, I mean,
Disrespect.
again, at the end of the day, I had a great time. Had a great opportunity to interact with our community, and whether we win or lose, it was a successful event.
Yep.
We really thank Mahampton Ford Racing, all their team. They made this possible, and they're make sure everything is safe. They're very, very thorough, and I appreciate that. Plus, they were giving out all kinds of prizes, raffle tickets, T-shirts.
Yeah, and shout out to all the media that came out there too. Every media outlet came out there, and
I appreciate that.
Nice.
We had the Detective Shell was showing the drunk goggles kind of thing to show what it looks like when you're impaired and everything.
The fatal drunk goggles. Yep. And it's interesting because the more he switches them up, or he switches up the goggles to where it would give you the feeling of being more and more impaired.
Yeah.
It's amazing. I mean, it's just to see it go from a person who can do the task that was having them do, to all of a sudden just completely missing it, going the wrong direction, bumping into cones. At one point, to almost hit one of the cars. So it was interesting because that just drives the point of the importance of why we want to educate of not drinking and driving, or driving while impaired.
Yeah. Yep. No, it was a great event, man. Very successful. I cannot wait for next year. I'm super excited about it already.
And one more shout out to the Sheriff's Department for stepping up and participating this year. So we appreciate them participating and being there this year.
Did you see that I raced the sheriffs?
No, I didn't see that.
Yeah.
Did you win?
Bro. He got me by and he had their Ford Escape. Or Ford
Were
Explorer,
you slow off the line?
No, I think I beat him off the line, and He won
Actually,
he won by like the
you know,
the grill
Chad,
guard.
hold on. We have a video of this, so we're gonna pause here for a second to show you the video of Chad getting smoked by the sheriff's department. It's unfortunate.
I can't believe you got the video.
Yep, such a sad day. So let's watch this.
So
Wow, you got burned.
yeah, man, he barely got me, but I don't want to talk about it no
That's
more.
sad,
So
Chad.
You know
we
what?
have
Had
a-
he raced the Mustang that I was driving, I probably would.
you would have dusted
I
him.
would have dusted him.
Yeah, but we got a great guest here today. Sergeant Bradley Elmore from he's the head of over D.I.V.R.T. He's going to talk a little bit about them. So I think he's here. So we'll get a
get him in.
refill real quick and bring
Let's do
in
that.
Sergeant Elmore.
Okay.
Be right back, guys. Welcome back, Wichita. We are here with Sergeant Bradley Elmore. How you doing today, sir?
I'm very good.
Appreciate you coming. I know you're a busy guy.
Sure.
So you're not going to hurt our feelings, but we asked this to every guest. Have you seen the podcast?
I have not.
Okay.
Oh man.
We got to step our
Not
game
yet.
up. All right. He will
not
today,
a
though.
viewer.
Yeah. So the podcast is kind of a little bit more family friendly, laid back, but we want the community to know who the person is as opposed to the officer, the rank and such. So tell us, who's Bradley Elmore?
Well, I'm a lifelong Wichita resident. I have a wife. I have 3 kids.
Okay.
They're not really kids anymore. They're adults. I have 2 up at K-State.
Okay.
And then that's my son. He's about ready to graduate high school.
Okay.
And so I've been a cop for 25 years here in Wichita, and this is my home.
Okay. Where have you been on the department? Obviously, patrol is where we all start, but how long were you there, and where you been since?
Yeah, so I spent like the first 8 years or so working out of Patrol North as a patrol officer. And then I was promoted to detective. I went to the gang unit. I spent about 4 years as a gang detective. Then about 2 years as an undercover narcotic detective. And then I went back out as a sergeant, back out to the field as a patrol supervisor, and then worked back in investigations, supervisor with the gang unit. And now I'm a supervisor with our D.I.V.R.T team, which is Domestic Intervention Violence Reduction Team.
And that team's fairly new, right? About a year or two now, or
A couple of years
Yeah.
old.
okay.
Can you explain a little bit for people who have never heard of D.I.V.R.T or don't know what it is, like what you guys do, kind of what that team's mission is?
Sure. So it started a couple of years ago where, as a department, we wanted to really do the best job we could addressing domestic violence. And we started looking at different funding sources that we could get to add personnel to be able to accomplish that mission. And so we applied for and received 2 different federal grants to help fund a new team, this D.I.V.R.T team.
Okay.
And so it's an offender-focused program that we have. There's 6 officers that work for me, and primarily they go out every day and locate domestic violence offenders that have warrants for their arrests, that are violating no contact orders or protection from abuse orders or protection from stalking orders. We also have a victim advocate that's funded through the program to work with us, and the victim advocate does a really great job of working with survivors of domestic violence to get them to proper resources and answer their questions about the court process and help them through that.
Okay. And that works with the kids as well, right? The kids that are affected in those families?
Oh, sure. Yeah, we'll work with the families. We also work with the different shelters around town to help with placement, and especially emergency placement. We have great working relationships with them.
Yeah. So tell us, that's a very important program because domestic violence is one of the most dangerous calls that we go on as officers and stuff. Tell us why it's so important because that's a sergeant above that. That's something that you put in and kind of applied for within the department to be a part of that team. Tell us why that's important to you.
It's important to me because it's a very prevalent crime in our community and across the country, and it affects so many families, and the ripple effect of domestic violence can be very damaging to families and to a community. You just brought up, small kids that are in homes where that's occurring. And so, and again, I said at the beginning, I have kids now, they're older, but that can be really difficult for people to go through. And so it means a lot to me to be able to help someone out, to help get them to that emergency shelter, help get them to the safety, so that, they don't have to worry about that occurring that day, that night, that week, and then hopefully you keep going. And then also, again, to address the concerns of the kids, to try to help with the healing process so they can move on with their lives in a positive way going forward.
Yeah, because that ripple effect for kids, I mean, that's trauma right there at an early age. And some of these kids are 3, 4, 5 years old seeing this. And I think that's just awesome that you guys are there, not just for that one case, but you guys work with them continuously. You guys also let the offender know, like, hey, we see you. We know this is what you do, and we're going to be coming after you as you continue to commit these crimes. Is that something that's what you guys do too as well, right?
Yes, it's really important to be professionally proactive with offenders.
Yeah.
And especially in today's day and age of policing, the professional policeman who treats everyone with dignity and respect, but also at the same time holds people accountable, holds offenders accountable, makes sure that when they commit a crime that we're there and they're arrested and they're held accountable and placed in the Sedgwick County Jail. Yeah. That's an important part of what we do.
No, I totally agree.
I think the intervention aspect is key too, because a lot of these domestic violence situations will just continue in like a cycle that we learn about, and until somebody intervenes. So like if anybody's watching and you know somebody or you're in a situation like that, contact 911. You can get resources from us or other agencies in town that can help intervene and stop that domestic violence cycle.
Yeah. So out of everywhere that you've been in the department, 25 years, that's a long time to be policing. It's a long, different eras of policing that you've covered. What's been your favorite part on the department? Putting you on the spot.
I'm gonna guess he's gonna say undercover, because that's what everybody says. Right.
Well, I mean, that was fun. It was a totally different, challenging area for me, because when you're undercover, you don't have the protection of the uniform, of a vest, of a badge, of your buddies being very close. Right. And so it was a totally different type of courage that I had to reach in to be able to do that type of work. And it wasn't natural for me. I'm a lifelong Wichita guy with a family, and I'm just kind of boring and nerdy when I'm away from the job. And yet now I have to move to this other role, which was very foreign for me. So it was a lot of fun. It was really stressful, and I'm glad I only did it for 2 years.
Right.
So there's some guys that are really natural at it, and it just I wouldn't say that about myself. I had to work hard to be able to fit in.
So what's been your favorite?
Well, being a gang detective was also very challenging, and during my time, I spent a lot of time getting to work on. I got to spend a year or so working out of the U.S. Attorney's Office on a federal case, and that was the most rewarding experience to work through the system and learn about the federal system and how that works, and holding some very violent gang members accountable for their actions in a very meaningful way. That was really rewarding.
I think it's cool when we get to work with different people outside of the department, like I said, for our federal partners or for other federal agencies and stuff. I think that just makes us more well-rounded, especially like as a writer, when I'm sure it changed probably for you the way you would write an affidavit as a detective to now writing a federal affidavit. I'm sure you probably had to tighten things up just a little bit.
Yeah, it kind of brings your game up.
Right.
It's not a game, but it brings your level up, and you see this whole different level of commitment, whole different level of detail-oriented work that is required to accomplish, and it's so helpful for your entire career when you get experiences like that.
Yeah, absolutely.
So we had a question come up last time with our last guest, and I'm curious what your answer would be. Do you have a favorite police-related movie or television show that you'd like to share?
Police-related? Well, I love Donnie Brasco. with Johnny Depp. And he's been in the news a lot lately. I don't know if you've caught any of that, but
hadn't seen that.
Yeah.
So
I don't think I've ever seen that.
Oh, you haven't?
No, I'll have to check it out.
Fugazi. It's a Fugazi.
See, I've heard these terms, but I don't think I've ever seen the movie.
I'll have to watch it.
Oh, you haven't?
Yeah.
Yeah, see, that's an older generation thing. I think I'm much older than you guys.
Bit. Yeah. Just
Speaking of movies that Chad's never seen, have you ever seen Star Wars?
What? I haven't heard of that one.
You're messing with me, right? You've seen Star Wars, right?
Yeah, of course.
Can you believe Chad's never seen Star Wars?
No, I haven't.
And he tried to watch it one time and just quit?
It's just boring to me. It just doesn't. It's not something I like to watch or anything. Or what was the other ones? Harry Potter. What was the other
I'm watching his reaction and his opinion of you. You can see it's just like dipping.
Yeah.
It's just
very odd
tanking.
to me. I'm not quite sure how to take you now.
I know, yeah. It's just something, man. Like if it's not like realistic to me, it's that.
How is it not realistic? It literally happened.
No, it didn't. In a galaxy far, far.
Yeah,
away.
a long time ago.
Okay,
Come on, Chad.
So you're not a sci-fi guy at all.
Not at all. No,
you probably like documentaries.
I do like some documentaries, depending on what the documentary is, obviously.
Sure.
Yeah. But yeah, even as a kid, like I wasn't a big reader. Obviously, you could tell by my grammar sometimes. But I enjoyed like bibliographies and stuff like that. So like anything like Coach K with Duke. Not that I'm a Duke fan, but I just like how he handled his team and everything in his life.
Oh, there's so much you can learn from leaders like that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
you like fiction or nonfiction?
I like nonfiction.
Interesting.
Yeah, it always confused me, the nonfiction fiction, because nonfiction is what happened and fiction is
fiction is fake.
Yeah. So to me, nonfiction would be not what's real, but it's not that. Yeah.
That's a good point.
You know what I mean? That always confused me as a kid. To this day, you saw how I answered that. So.
Well, now you're making me overthink everything.
I'm confused.
Confusing me.
So
Chad.
on this podcast, we play a game called One Has to Go. We take 4 things, and you got to pick one that goes away forever. Okay. So today, somebody outside set the temperature to Satan, and it's been really hot this weekend. So we're gonna do ice cream. All right. So you got 4 choices. You got chocolate, strawberry, vanilla, or mint chocolate chip. Which one's got to go away?
Well,
forever?
that's easy.
Is it?
Yeah, because you put the mint chocolate chip in there. You can't like chocolate, strawberry, and vanilla. I mean, those are staples. Like if I make one of those go away, there's going to be a lot of people that are not going to like that. They're going to be hating on me. So the mint chocolate chip though, that's a unique flavor. That one's easy.
Oh, that's so good, that comes out. That's so good though.
And then you stick with your staples.
No.
Oh yeah, that's easy.
Strawberry's got to go for me instantly. The Neapolitan, I would always take the chocolate and the vanilla, and that strawberry would be just left right there. There's certain people have like a phobia with strawberry. Like my son cannot smell strawberries, anything. It makes him nauseated. Yeah, it's crazy.
Weird.
Yeah, see,
interesting.
Mine's more the seeds that are in strawberries, those little small pits. I can't stand them.
Yeah,
so there's no flavor.
Like the seeds on the outside.
It's the texture.
You don't even notice them really.
It's the texture though.
You don't like the texture. I'm the same way with an onion.
Really?
Like a raw onion, the texture of it, I cannot do.
The only raw onion I can do is the little chopped up ones that they put in street tacos.
Right, because they're real small and the texture's a lot easier to handle.
Or sauteed onions.
I just don't like biting into a whole raw onion.
Yeah, well,
that's
right.
Weird.
Just a little odd. What are you getting rid of?
I'm getting rid of chocolate. I don't like chocolate ice cream. It's too much. It's too much. It makes my mouth all sticky, and then I can't talk right, and like it's just. I don't know, one bite.
No, that's
just
actually telling you it's that good.
It's overwhelming the amount of chocolate that is in chocolate ice cream. It's too much. Too much chocolate.
You see, this is what
I can't handle. I like a subtle flavor. I'm a vanilla guy.
You're a basic guy.
I'm basic.
You're basic.
That's fine. I like my vanilla lattes and my vanilla ice cream.
Yeah,
so
basic.
I'm cool with that. Keeps things simple.
This is what I got to put up with.
Yeah.
At least I've seen Star Wars, Chad.
I've seen it and I didn't like it.
That's even more disappointing, honestly.
Well, Sarge, we appreciate your time. I know you're super busy, and we appreciate your entire team. I know you guys go out there, you do phenomenal work in very dangerous situations. So we appreciate you being here, and hopefully we can get another member of your team on the show in the future.
Yeah, sounds good.
Him again if he wants to come back.
Yeah.
It's not like he can never come back
That's
again.
true. He can come back too.
Yeah,
Chad's making it sound like you can't come back, but anyone else on your team is welcome.
Maybe someone else could be back next time.
You did phenomenal. We're going to get a quick refill, and we'll be right back, guys.
And we're back. What a great interview. Appreciate Sergeant Elmore coming out here and giving us some insight to such an important unit.
Yeah, very important.
So
Absolutely.
I got a great and awesome announcement. I'd like to introduce Officer Juan Rebolledo, who's going to be the new public information officer and Hispanic Latino liaison officer for the Wichita Police Department. He'll be taking my position. Juan, congratulations. You were selected, and really looking forward to working with you. You bring a lot of experience, and you've worked with the community even before you were an officer for a very, very long time.
Yes.
So I know you're going to do great. And if you want to tell us a little bit about yourself, tell the community who you are. Who's Juan?
Right, I'm excited to be here. Can't wait to be able to work with all of you guys. And again, my name is Juan Rebolledo. I'm originally from Colombia, South America. I moved to Wichita about 22 years ago with the intent of attend the school and then leave. But in the process, I met my wife. So 22 years later, I'm still here, married, still with her, of course. 4 kids. Yep. I actually decided to join the police department when I turned 45.
Oh, okay.
Yes.
Good for you.
I did quite a bit of I worked for the private sector, and I felt like I needed to give back to the community. To the community that took care of me and my family.
Yeah.
And I had the crazy idea of being with join the department. No regrets. I was the oldest guy in the academy by
Just a
at
little
least
bit.
20
Just a
years.
little bit.
Just a little bit.
20 years. But it was fun. I learned a lot. Work patrol, south side, and then east side. With the help with Paul, I actually helped with quite a bit of his involvement with the community, Hispanic community, some of the events that he managed and takes care of every year. And I felt like I wanted to do the same thing. So I waited for the right moment and just kicked him out of the curb.
Well, I can tell you don't have big shoes to fill, man. So.
Oh, yeah. I feel like I do. It's a little bit daunting, but, he's going to spend 3 weeks of his time to train me, so that makes me feel better.
Yeah.
I know it's a pretty important and big role. I can imagine how you guys do it on a daily basis, so I'm glad that he's sticking around to show me and to teach me a little bit more. So big shoes to fill.
I appreciate that. And you know what? It's exciting. Juan, I think you're going to hit the ground running. I look forward to it. I mean, a little bit of Juan, he worked, you organized Café con Leche.
Yes,
and he's been doing it for years. Huge community event as well. This is for law enforcement and during law enforcement. And then also we work on the Hispanic Hispanic Citizens Police Academy. It's all in Spanish. So we do the full 13 weeks. We have the Alumni Association from there as well. We do a lot. There's a lot of things that we work with hand in hand with our Latino Hispanic community here in Wichita. And Juan, one thing he didn't talk about, you were also, I think, in Air Force, right? In military?
Yeah, I was a Colombian. I was in the Colombian Air Force. I was a helicopter pilot.
Helicopter pilot.
Wow.
I did that for 11 years.
Dang.
Until it got a little bit too dangerous and decided to do a career change.
So do you feel like if there was a helicopter outside of City Hall right now, you'd be able to walk out there, and if they said, "Hey, Juan, you got it"?
If it was an emergency, probably.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
I also want to point out, you started the academy at 45, and you've been on the department 4 or 5 years now?
5 years, so I'm my 6th year right now.
Okay, so you're 50.
Yes.
Brother, you
Yeah,
have 4 kids and have all your hair and are in great shape. That's a blessing. That's a blessing. I don't know how you do it, but I want whatever you got, brother.
Yeah, I think I'm going to start gluing my hair because...
No, it looked good, man.
Hey,
I think I've lost more hair than Juan.
Right? Yeah.
I'm 37.
Yeah.
But I got a lot of gray hair
Hey,
because of the kids.
that's all
My
good.
hair was black. Now it's not.
That's how mine is. I got this little, you can't see it here, hopefully not. I got this little racing stripe that I got going, but I'm cool with the salt and pepper, but I'm not ready to go bald yet, though. I don't think so. But we're happy to have you here, man. I think
thank
you're
you.
going to be a great
Thank you.
addition to the team. So
I'm very excited.
you're gonna finish the show with us today.
Yep.
Oh,
Gonna
I
wrap
don't
it
even know
up.
how to do that.
Yeah, well, it's okay. So every episode, we always ask people to send in questions to PoliceWeb. So they just send questions to policeweb at wichita.gov. And we monitor that. We ask that you put in the subject line coffee break so it's easy for us to locate the question. And we got a question, y'all, from Bradley.
All right, what's the question?
So the question is, what is your favorite song that you are ashamed to admit that you play or replay or enjoy it?
Oh, that's interesting.
Yeah. So I'm going to go first because I know this might be the first time you've actually heard this question because I put it up here. But I want Bradley to know, first of all, I ain't embarrassed about any kind of song that I listen to, even if it is Barbie Girl. But two songs that come to mind that every time that they come on or I hear it and I just stop everything is Crossroads by Bone Thugs and Harmony. That's a must. Got to stop. We're gonna listen, and I'm gonna miss everybody, and I'm gonna that's me, And then Coolio, "Gangster's Paradise" is another one that I just stop everything, have to listen to it. So,
Oh, well.
yeah. What about y'all?
I'm trying to think. First of all, I mean, I come from a family of all musicians. Everybody plays musicians or multiple musicians, so I'm with you.
Yeah.
I think music is music.
Yeah.
There shouldn't be anything embarrassing about music, although I understand the context of the question.
Yeah.
But yeah, I'm trying to think. I think being a dad, I'm trying to think of all the silly songs and Baby Shark.
Right.
As much as I have a love-hate relationship with that song.
Yeah.
Because it drives me nuts that my kids want to hear it all the time,
Right.
And they want to just listen to it all the time. But after a while, you kind of get into it.
You do.
You're like, you start doing
Yeah,
this, and then next thing you know, you're just like playing the tune in your head over and over while you're in the middle of an important meeting, and it's happened
Right.
before. And I'm thinking about Baby Shark, and then they asked me a question, and I was like, could you repeat the question?
Chief just asked you an important
Yeah,
question.
exactly. I better pay
Paul's
attention.
over here listening to Baby Shark. Yeah. That's very valid. Yeah. What about you, Juan?
Well, I think the only one is "Shake It Up"
Shake it up.
by Taylor Swift.
Okay.
Okay, there you go.
But
Yeah.
if it's about kids songs, will be any song from Barney.
Oh, bro.
man.
Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah, the
my
I
gosh.
love you. Yeah.
My kids loved Barney
Yeah.
when they were very little. Now they
Yeah.
are not, but
Yeah,
Yes.
now Barney might scare people and stuff.
Barney.
I want to see a
Any
2022
song.
Barney. You know what I mean? Like, you know how they changed some mascots and
Yeah,
stuff?
he would probably be a cartoon now.
That's true. That's true.
Kind of like the Kraft
Possibly.
Brothers. They made him into a cartoon.
Yeah.
My kids always watch that. So, yeah, I get what you're saying. But, yeah, to me, that's the song. That's a good one, though.
Yeah, it's a
I
very
can see
good
that.
one, yeah.
Do you get
love
down
you,
with it?
You love me.
Oh, that's
Way too many times. That's the problem.
Yeah.
We heard that song a million times.
You know another the whole soundtrack I think from Selena gets me every time. I sing like every song on there. Not embarrassed at all.
No. Vicente Fernandez.
Yeah.
Have a bad day.
Yeah.
Start cranking that up.
One of the first movies to make me
Pero sigo siendo el rey.
That's right. That's a good one.
Is that a song? Because I have no idea what y'all just said.
Oh yeah, it's a song. It's
okay.
probably
It's a
the most
the most classic.
classic song from.
If you were there on Friday, I think I don't know. Did they cover that on Friday at the Riverfest? I don't know if they were singing it,
no,
but
I'm
they were
not
singing
sure.
a lot of great songs
Yeah.
that day too.
Yes.
So,
You have to put me on game when I
all right.
get back up.
As
to
soon
the
as we're
office.
done, I'll show you.
Yeah. So last week, Juan, the first couple episodes here, probably the first 9 or 10, we would do fun facts about each other, but we would always like not remember fun facts and stuff. So last week we started WPD fun facts, and Lieutenant Marceau is a historian buff here. He's a historian major, I should say, and he provided us with a fun fact today for WPD's fun facts, and that's
What you got?
the criminal justice program at Wichita State University is one of the oldest in the country. Chief O.W. Wilson founded the program in 1937. That's a picture of the chief. In
1937.
1937, the Wichita Police Department became known as the West Point of law enforcement.
What?
An international reputation was developed due to the innovative police practices of the department.
That's awesome.
1937.
Interesting.
Yeah.
And it's interesting because for those of you that might not know or might know, I think back of how were the history and thinking about the training academy too, the new state-of-the-art academy that we have now versus what it was before, which is an elementary school where the piping didn't work.
Yeah, right.
You couldn't drink the water.
Yeah,
but it's almost like a rite of passage. You know, you got to go through this.
Yeah,
actually, our class was the last one there.
It was your last one? Oh man.
See, my class was the last one that had to wear those like custodian blue.
Same here.
Yeah,
I wore those too. Yeah.
And you got to wear the new ones that they wear now, right?
Yeah.
The green.
Shirts
So
and
for
the
those of you that
pants.
don't know what that custodian blue is, they used to have the tradition in the police academies. You wore these traditional old. Literally.
I think the best way I describe it is the Dickie blue, like when you buy Dickies and stuff. That navy blue. That's basically what our uniform is like for the academy.
They've had these for over what? They had the uniforms. Those
decades.
used uniforms for decades. So when you put them on, it was pretty rough. So but again,
if you had a Popeyes biscuit for lunch, you could see it in that uniform. Like that's how that's how form fitting they were, y'all. Like, that's how it was. But I was so jealous when y'all got to wear these new ones. I'm like, that's nice.
Yeah, it was. Yeah. And the state-of-the-art building.
But we couldn't drink the water.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah, the old training academy, yes.
Yeah.
So,
but yeah, those are cool little fun facts.
That's awesome, though.
That's interesting.
The history of that is very significant.
Yeah.
I didn't know that it was even recognized.
Yeah, to
that's
be
awesome.
Considered the West Point of law enforcement, that's awesome, because for any military member to be able to go to West Point and become an officer, that's a pristine accomplishment. So. Right. But yeah, so
well, thank you, Juan. Again,
yes.
Thank you, guys.
To, working, and I know the community when he's out there during the events, he's going to be on social media as well. Say hi to him. He'll be most of the events that we have, just like we are with the Public Information Unit, and also provide you information. And so now you know who he is. Look forward to
I'm the new Pablo.
The new Pablo. That's Pablo.
Right. So that's gonna wrap up this episode of the podcast, and we'll see y'all again next week. Later. Peace.